We are on our Tuesday where we have professionals sharing today. Very powerful sharing. Morning, Divya was there. It was mind blowing to hear her experience. I suppose she's coming in now again, yes. And then, of course, we have Patrick, who is doing an incredible amount of meditation, mindfulness work worldwide. These youngsters doing any amount of mindfulness work and causing any amount of impact in their own way. In addition to, of course, transforming themselves. So we will have those immediately after meditation. Listening to others' experiences, we will learn this in the past, is one of the core practices of kind of the core interest of every seeker to be able to grow, to be able to evolve. And that's why we are doing this. And then those of you who didn't plan to not stay beyond 1 hour, so think about this once again. So Patrizio is talking about, in that video, dialect method. When we ask questions, when we interact, we evolve. We get answers, so everybody is automatically benefiting. The questioner, the answerer. Both get clarity. It's always that way. That's why we ask everybody to start teaching. As soon as we learn ABC, we start teaching ABC, because then it gives us so much clarity for the teacher to actually further evolve. It's very, very simple. Anapanasati meditation can be taught from day one, as soon as we learn, because there's so many people who don't even know that observing the breath can actually do wonders for them. So talking about the dialect method of interactions, when we're interacting with people, we can sort of understand everybody into 4 categories. So there is a way, as we are meditators, as we are becoming more mindful, there are people who are materially rich, there are people who are materially poor. There are people who are spiritually rich, spiritually poor. Everybody can be seen into one of these 4. We need to know how and what we do. What is our responsibility when we are interacting with somebody? How do we make best utilization of the time? How do we make best impact? So somebody who is materially poor, of course, whatever the help we can do, we do it. Materially poor, so if you can do some help, if you know a lot of knowledge, you give it. Functional knowledge, if you have money, give it, right? Whatever that you can do in your capacity. If you have, you do it. Otherwise, there's nothing to regret about, nothing to feel bad about. Materially rich, we make friendships. Everything I'm talking, keeping in mind that our thoughts and feelings create reality. So we need to be very, very clear and engage where we are doing engagement, where we're not doing engagement. Because our outer reality is always based on inner vibration, inner feeling, which is equal to thoughts and feelings. Just because we found somebody materially poor, we don't feel bad about it. We don't complain about how the government could have done better, this one could have been better, that injustice is there. All of that is only going to create more of that vibration into outer reality. What we can do, we do, and where matter ends. And everything matters into the manifestation. Materially rich, we make friendships. Somebody rich, in anything, we make friendship. Friendship, if they ask for help, we do it. Otherwise, we make friendship so that who knows? In a path of manifestation, everybody is giving us opportunity, bringing us opportunities, bringing us messages, bringing us signals, insights. So we make friendships with people who are materially rich. We don't compromise on any of our principles. We don't change our values because somebody is materially rich. We see that, okay, someone has got a very successful business leader, then whatever they want to do, very successful organization leader, very successful political leader, we do whatever they ask. But that's not necessarily the right thing. As a meditative firm on things that you want to do. A Somebody who is very successful in the world may say that, hey, exercise is the it. Without doing exercise, everything else is secondary. But you, as you know deeply, that meditation is more holistic. It's so healing all five bodies. Exercise is healing one or one and a half body, your body and maybe just immediately mind. Normally, we get influenced, we change our direction. But no, we understand that we make friendship, but you still hold on to what you believe are the right things. Spiritually poor, the moment you recognize, you absolutely are giving away everything that we have. Everything that we have. That's our dharma. All the spiritual knowledge. Make them sit and meditate. Explain to them. Give away. Explain about this manifestation topic. Whatever that you can do, all the knowledge you have, we are very highly compassionate. We give that. Materially poor, we are empathetic. We don't show sympathy. Sympathy never we show because everybody is the same equal power. Whether somebody is poor, rich, materially, spiritually, we're all equal. We're all the same. So sympathy means that somebody is lower than you. You're not even recognizing that they're as good as you. Everybody is the same level. So where is the question of sympathy? If we are this intelligence, they are the intelligence. We are Aham Brahmasmi, they are Brahmasmi too. So everybody is same. So there's no question of sympathy to them. Empathy, understand that they are under evolution. And so what we can support, we can support. No regret, no cribbing about injustices there or anything like that. If somebody is disabled, there's no injustice here. We got to understand the larger perspective of everyone is creating their own reality. No mom is making something, no dad is creating something. That's a different topic. But understanding that spiritually poor, then we give away. When you ask us that somebody can benefit, if anybody is complaining, if anybody is judging, anybody is just being in these moods, carrying over grief and loss and this and that, you know that they haven't understood that their thoughts, their feelings are going to create more of it. So recognize it and then give away all the knowledge we have. They are the students that you're going to give them. They ask you something, then readily give it away. If a poor person comes, give them food, but then give them the full spiritual knowledge. That will be our dharma. Don't completely spend your time in materially serving them. That has to be very tactical, but then you give complete your spiritual understanding to them so that they do not come back to you a second time. They're on their own now. You enable them so they're on their own. Spiritually rich, the moment you recognize, then we surrender to the best possible so that in the interest that we learn as much as they are. If you go to your master and then you start filling up your time. You know what? Why I came late? I came late because of my there's so much traffic is there, and as a result, I couldn't come. This was this that happened. You lose 5 minutes just explaining and giving an explanation. He couldn't care. He couldn't care why you came late. But we just fill up and then we lose 5 minutes. We try to impress upon some things that we know about that master, and we're just talking about it. That master already knows. Why do you have to show that you know something? We are completely in a receiving mode. Surrender means we are in a receiving mode, because if here is somebody that you evaluated of all the various people, and then you chose a music teacher, you chose a spiritual teacher, you chose a sports teacher, whoever that is. Once you choose, then you don't question. Then you surrender to the person because you already made your evaluation, and then you're there. Then take everything that person is giving. So we are absolutely empty. We got to be empty cup, and then surrender so that in a hope that you can get as better as them. You don't go to a music teacher and then take two lessons, and third lesson when he's telling, then you say, no, no, this is not how it works. It works. You don't do that. That if you're not convinced, you do it before. But once we choose, so spiritually rich, we want to recognize dear friends, then we surrender and then we take it. This is our dharma. Then we take best use of our time. Let's say you meet a book author who has written a beautiful book. Let's say come across Dr. Joe Dispenza. You get perhaps 5 minutes. How do you want to spend your time with him for 5 minutes? Option is ours. You get the 5 minutes. You can just talk about, I read your book. It's great. So many things are there. My home, my people have read it. I read 3 times. I did my workshop. You do all of that. What do you get? You get nothing. Instead, immediately say, Dr. Joe, it's great. It's great that I got this great opportunity. Can you tell me what has inspired you to write this book? Can you give me your daily practice of what you do to be that? We learn something more. We don't need to give explanations. We don't need to impress anybody. If the master is not able to understand, if they themselves you think will judge you because you didn't tell about something, then they perhaps are not masters. But the point is, dear friends, when we are in the company of spiritually rich people, then we take as much we make empty ourselves as much as possible, and then so ready to receive. We got to empty the cup, ready to receive it. When you find spiritually poor people who need that help, you give the cup, you give as much as possible, give it to them. In materially poor, empathetic. Don't be sympathetic about it. Empathy means understand they're evolving. Somebody may be angry, somebody may be nasty at us. Recognize that they are evolving. And so you exhibit your qualities of forgiveness and all of that. And then whatever help you can do materially, because they may not be ready for a spiritual answer, but materially you just help out where you can, and then we go away. It helps as we are going to develop a lot of mindfulness, because I do still, many of us get together and then we talk about my property, my family, my vacation. There is so much knowledge is there when people are meeting. Instead of talking about all this knowledge and taking it, as we talk about families and vacations and this and that, when in the company of masters who have a lot of knowledge, we take that. Something that I really, really practice. And that's why every time I meet my teacher, every time I meet these grandmasters, I'm always in the receiving mode. I'm always listening and saying, what are they going to tell? Even though they've told the same topic, because every time we know it, and spiritually, when we learn the topic, any topic, our understanding keeps improving. So what we observe will be also be different. When you read these four barriers that are there for our progress: fear, half knowledge, power, old age. Now you can read this again and again, and every time your understanding will be different. Patrisi said in one way, Don Juan said in another way. When Lawrence explains it, perhaps she'll say in another way. So there is always something new to learn. So, dear friends, Meditation is absolutely making us very, very aware of, it's bringing us aware of how, making us very mindful of how we carry ourselves. That is important because at the end of the day, everything is about what vibration I'm carrying. Where is my attention onto? Because every word, every thought is so impeccable. We need to be get so impeccable. The more better we get at it, the more manifestation we can have appropriated to what we seek. So all of these interactions do matter. So let's go into the breath mindfulness meditation once again. Relax yourself. Those of you who are new, we are doing breath mindfulness meditation or anapanasati. This technique, this technique by Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha popularized it significantly to millions of people then, and then it is being taught by several people in the world. One and two use this breath mindfulness meditation technique where the goal is to empty the mind, and we do that by observing our natural, normal breath. Posture is very simple as you're sitting in the chair. Remove the specs with your eyes closed. Second, interlock your fingers into fingers and then place your hands in your lap comfortably. Third, you cross your feet at ankle. Cross your feet at ankle, fingers into fingers. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap with your eyes closed, specs removed. Observe your normal, natural breath. Take any point in the nose, this root, middle, center, preferably at the root. Ultimately, the breath, as you're observing, and then take any point in the nose and observe your breath. Natural, normal breath. Your own rhythm of the breath. No forceful inhalation, no forceful exhalation. When you observe the breath, slowly breath becomes lighter, shorter, and then also simultaneously mind becomes empty, slowly. There'll be a point where breath, you may not even recognize breath exists. That's the time you're cutting over to the other side where you're totally empty. We are deep inside, we are 99.99% empty inside, only 0.01% matter. So when we empty our mind, we're emptying all the thought, which means we're drawing our attention off the matter, so we become energy. So we experience energy. That energy that exists everywhere is called quantum energy field. So the goal in meditation then is to empty the mind and drop all that unwanted thought. And then two, slowly then we merge into that emptiness. Automatically it happens where we experience the emptiness of no body, no thing, no place, no time. So this will be the meditation practice, observing a normal natural breath. And as you observe, you may get distracted, go back into the thought, we get distracted. When you recognize your thinking, bring your attention back to the breath again. When you recognize your thinking, bring your attention back to the breath. Again, you'll be observing for a few seconds, might go off into the thought. Bring it back. So the whole duration of meditation will be oscillating between these two states. Perfectly fine, pretty normal. Even after 20 years, that's going to be the state of many people. So it's normal that we exist with thought, we exist to observe the breath and become slowly empty. Right, friends? So before we do this process, we're doing something called heart elevation to slow our mind, to empty our mind faster. So for that, follow my guidance actively. We'll be keeping our hands on your chest area and then filling up our heart with an heightened emotion of love or gratitude or any of those by recollecting an event from a past and reliving that, right? Reliving an event where you'd experienced a lot of love, a lot of gratitude, a lot of compassion. Any event, wing it up and then feel it. So we do that for a few minutes and then we go into this breath mindfulness meditation. And then finally, we end with gratitude by expressing gratitude to many things in our life. Follow my guidance at that point too. Relax yourself. At any given time, if you feel you're having difficulty following anything, breath is our savior. The best thing is to observe the breath and slowly become empty. That is it. If we do that, then we are experiencing this greater emptiness, and then we start understanding many more things about ourselves. Relax yourself, sit comfortably. We'll be playing music and also be guiding with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers. dear friends. With your eyes closed, keep your hands on your chest area. Remove your specs. Take a slow, long, relaxing breath. And can you feel your beautiful heart? Breathe more of that slow, long, relaxing breath. And feel your heart center, the seat of all emotions, which is expanding all life with its heightened emotional energy of love, of gratitude, of compassion. I want you to relive an event from your life of love, of gratitude, of compassion, and fill up your heart with that emotion, dear friends. Or bring up that experience from your future as if it is happening for you right now. And can you feel that emotion of love, gratitude, or whatever inside your beautiful heart? Come on, feel more. Experience more of that event, dear friends, and feel it. Allow yourself to expand your heart center with that energy. Every thought, every feeling is energy. The more you experience, dear friend, the more you feel that emotion of love, of gratitude, and the more we become one with all things and everybody in that experience. We're all deeply interconnected. We're all one in this quantum energy field. Love, gratitude, compassion, kindness, adventure are all the ways to become one again. Feel that energy and allow to radiate that energy beyond your body onto every corner of this planet Earth. Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. Friends, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap with your eyes closed. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath. In the meditation, we observe our normal, natural in breath and the out breath. No forceful inhalation, no forceful exhalation. Be with your breath. Become one with that in breath and the warm out breath, dear friends. Be with your breath. Become one with that in breath and the out breath. Our goal is to empty that mind. Our goal is to merge into that greater emptiness, that quantum energy field. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes slowly empty. And when the mind is empty, we channelize all the energy into the generous present moment. We allow our body to function at its natural best. Be with your breath, one with that in breath and the out breath, dear friend. It is natural to have thoughts when you recognize that you are thinking. Gently come back to observing your breath. As you are becoming one with your breath, allow yourself to slowly become empty of all the thoughts in your mind. As your mind is becoming empty, can you feel any sensations in your body? Can you sense energy in any part of your body as you are becoming one with your breath? Allow yourself to slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind as you become one with your breath. Can you find that emptiness inside your body? Become aware of that emptiness inside of you, all around you. We are less matter, more emptiness. Recognize when our mind is empty, we withdraw our attention off the matter and we experience that emptiness all around. Can you become aware of that emptiness where there is no body, where there is nothing, in no place and no time? Become aware of the infinite depth of this emptiness inside of you, all around you. Going far and wide, beyond your room, beyond this planet, into the edges of this universe. All emptiness is energy. This is that infinite quantum energy field with unlimited possibilities and opportunities. The longer we stay in this field as no body, as no thing, the more we become of it, the more possibilities we receive into our physicality. Stay aware of that emptiness of nobody, of nothing, and allow yourself to stay connected to the abundance of energies in this field. Everything we have ever experienced or will experience is here in this field as wave of possibility. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness and stay connected to this energy. This is the field of all creation. This is that quantum consciousness where everything and everybody is connected. The longer you stay in this field, the more we experience that wholeness, the more we become one. go deeper and deeper into that emptiness of yourself. Friends, it's an honor and privilege to be living this life at this time of history, to be exploring consciousness at this time of history. Be grateful to your parents for giving us this beautiful connection into this universe. Be grateful to our teachers and mentors for expanding our knowledge and wisdom. Express gratitude to all the people in your life, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, everybody, for helping us learn so many things. Be grateful to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, the planets and stars, for being an integral part of our life. Be grateful to all the things you use, the places we visit, the technology, our governments and companies and systems for supporting our lives in many ways. Deep gratitude to yourself for caring for you, for caring for others. Be grateful to this intelligent universe, intelligent quantum energy field, for allowing us to experience so much more in this life. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Relax your body. Feel your body. Relax yourself and recollect the experience from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? what have you experienced? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay. Enjoy this session, dear friends. Yes, 1 second, Sheetal. We recollect the experience every day so that if it is tangible, we write it down. Whatever that worked good, you want to do more of it tomorrow. Whatever segment did not work well, then you want to do something different. So when you recollect, so we make a memory of it, and then we can improvise on it next day. And then, of course, if you had any great feeling or a vision or anything tangible, then you can write it down so that you can always connect the dots back. So as we are experiencing these energies in that quietness, let's listen to our guest today. I request Sheetal to invite Patrick Kozovaigs, whatever way you say it. Before Sheetal invite, I want Lawrence to say something.
Yes, that's Patrick Kozakiewicz.
Okay, I
yes,
get it right.
Exactly. Thanks for this nice meditation. And welcome, Patrick. I'm delighted to have you here. Patrick has been a teammate of mine working in my team, but actually was also a mindfulness teacher to me and encouraged me a lot when I started a few years ago. And we became partner in crime in growing the mindfulness community at the company we were working in, which is IBM. He's a very dedicated person. You will hear his bio from Sheetal. But Patrick, thanks again for accepting to be there. I know you have a very, very full agenda, both as a worker as well as a volunteer. Your time is invaluable for us. And I'm happy that you can share your own experience as a meditator. So Sheetal, can I introduce Patrick?
Yeah, this is Sheetal from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm very happy to introduce Patrick today. Patrick was raised in USA and is now based in Poland, working for IBM, where he is a successful agile and enterprise design thinking coach for the service unit. In addition, Patrick has a second role, working for the corporate social responsibility organizations, designing courses and teaching mindfulness for students and schools. As a volunteer, Patrick has been very actively engaged in growing the mindfulness community in IBM from the last few years and coordinating actions and events for its more than 14,000 members. Patrick is a meditator, an active mindfulness entrepreneur, and generous teacher engaged in mindfulness initiatives for the many organizations within the sports, corporates, and education industries. Let us all welcome Patrick today.
Welcome, welcome. Sound is okay? Okay. Thank you, Sheetal. Thank you, Laurence, Chandra, and thank you everyone that's on the call today and has been part of this process for weeks, if not months, if not years. I'm humbled and grateful to be here and to share a little bit of surface of the planet that I have scratched. Laurence did send me over some questions, so I will sort of be using that as my flow or my prompt, just to give you, I guess, a greater sense of who I am and who I've become. Jumping into the past, it's more difficult to recollect, you know, what happened. But luckily, my mother's visiting me these past few days now. She flew in from the States earlier this week. So she's, you know, spent the past few days kind of telling me more about who I was when I was younger. So I'll be sharing some of that as well today. As was expressed, I am Polish American. My parents are Polish. They grew up in Poland, and they grew up in a very tough period in Poland's history. As part of Soviet Union occupation, martial law, extreme lockdowns, you know, waiting in lines, no food, nothing in shops. And they managed to escape to West Germany. My mother was actually 5 months pregnant with me at the time. They didn't know that she was pregnant with me, and they had fake passports and everything. And they ended up in Bremen, or in Munich, I believe. A few months later, I was born. This was also at the time when the Soviet Union was collapsing and falling apart. Due to my father's background in the military and working at a military hospital, and some connections with the American government, they had the opportunity to go to the United States or go to Australia. And they decided on California, where I think I arrived around the age of 9 months. They had $100 and they knew no English other than, you know, the basic words that you hear from songs growing up. So it wasn't a very easy beginning. My sister was born a few years later, and my parents, right, they had to work hard. They had to go through all the heartaches of being in a totally new country, a new language, starting from the bottom, as they say. I was a very active child, always running around, always moving, and I would only stop moving if I was sleeping or resting. And I know a lot of parents these days, you know, I think I would be labeled as ADHD, and I'd be prescribed a lot of drugs, but luckily I was not. And my parents allowed me to be very active. I went to a private Catholic school in San Diego, and around the age of 11, and this is where my meditation experience began, there was a Shaolin Kung Fu school that opened up, and they were going around the schools and they were offering lessons. So my parents signed me up for some martial arts classes, and I fell in love with that. I was going there a few times per week, training for hours upon hours, and meditation was part of our training. So there was a lot of what we were doing today, a lot of focusing on the breath, a lot of focusing on the body to improve our performance. improve our focus, our ability to remember the moves, to build our defenses, our offenses, etc. And I stuck around that for about 5-6 years. So 16, 17 years of age. I still continue to this day doing martial arts, and martial arts have been always a part of my life. I had a few years in towards the end of high school and after high school of, I guess, what I call now my mindlessness years, where I spent more time focusing on the material world, focusing more on my ego, on the groups of friends of kind of, you know, that typical American high school life, and being popular and girls and, you know, different things, experimenting and things like that. And I got back into meditation because of love, because of losing love. And I searched through the world's religions. I searched through the world's philosophies, different belief systems, different teachers, trying to refine this love. And I really only began to find it and finally found it once I started going within. I studied international relations. I got back into school in Virginia because I wanted to better understand how the world works. I then decided to go into politics and study politics for a master's to study more of how the world works. And I minored in world religions to figure out how the world works. This was also around the time period, so my university, when I got into the practice of yoga. And that's something that's accompanied me to this day. And I guess I'll kind of get to that point in a second. So we're in my studies, yoga. I'm ending my studies, beginning the corporate world, and I'm stumbling across mindfulness. That there's, you know, my neighbor was a mindfulness teacher. And I remember the first time we talked about it, she taught me the raisin meditation, where you just focus completely on the raisin and on just being with the raisin, smelling it, eating it. And I discovered there's this whole field and topic of mindfulness, which then I worked at Deloitte before I worked at IBM. And at Deloitte, I started teaching regular yoga classes and then bringing in some meditation and some mindfulness. And when I left Brussels, because it was just getting really scary there, I was on top of one of the buildings that on top of the subway when the terrorists blew up the metro. And my girlfriend at the time didn't want to live there anymore. And I was looking for opportunities outside of the country. And I found a nice position within IBM. And I said, when I join IBM, I want to focus more on mindfulness, on meditation, on yoga. And that's what I started doing. I quickly started growing the group locally in Poland. We have about 5,000 employees here. I quickly got connected to the global community, which had around 1,500 members at that time. There was 16 of these practice leaders, as we call them. So people at different locations around the world leading groups in mindfulness practices. And I started connecting with them on a bi-weekly basis, and I continue those bi-weekly interlocks now. We jumped a little bit in numbers. So there was 16 then, now there's 130. There was 1,500 members, and last we were doing the numbers, it was around 20,000. We've had our ups and downs, but we've grown to more executive sponsorship, more visibility. I was IBM's first full-time role dedicated to this topic. And now for the past, I guess, 2 or 3 years now, my thought and my energies are just going into that. And I'm expanded, and we're going outside of IBM with the corporate social responsibility programs. I opened up my own company this year, and we're doing a lot also externally, and I'm doing a lot with all sorts of organizations and people. So what do I do, or how does my practice look like? I do a daily sit, which is focusing just on my breath. I do daily breath work, and that sort of depends on how I'm feeling or what's going on. And I usually do the breath work first. I have my yoga practice that I do. I have personal training kind of movement that I do, visualizations that I do daily. And then the rest of the day, I try to be as mindful as I can. Just really unitasking as much as I can, focusing and bringing my present to one thing at a time. It's become sort of like hygiene for me. I can shower, I could miss a day or two, but you feel it. Right? You can go one day without brushing your teeth, and these practices have also become the same way. So if I'm not doing them, it's just something's off. And this is all supplemented by sort of, books and programs that I'm reading. I just finished reading The Go-Giver, The Learner's Journey. I'm reading Google's program right now. And as of January, I'm embarking on a year-long teacher's training with the University of Oxford, which I've partnered with and created a free online course. So there's a bunch of books that I have to read for that program. Last thing that I will mention, I'm mindful of my time, is that sort of the impact that all this has had on my life, and the impact that this daily practices have on my life, is that it helps me better understand myself in relationship to everything else. My focus has definitely improved and keeps on improving. My attention, my awareness, managing my emotions and my thoughts, and of course, building better relationships with myself, but also with a lot of people. And yeah, that's a little bit of me. Thank you so much for listening. If at all you want to speak, reach out to me on social media or however, and I'll be happy to connect with you. Thank you, Laurence. Thank you, Chandra, for this opportunity. And thank you, everyone, for being today.
Thank you, Patrick. That's wonderful. You have grown this movement so big. The moment of mindfulness in IBM, and now I believe you're doing it so much outside. Catching it at a very young age, and then being a student of meditation continuously, and then always learning to improve our relation with ourselves before, and then naturally it has to spread to everybody else around. It's like that fragrance of the flower. So great to see young master like you doing so much work globally. I think it's a lot of global impact that you're creating. So we're very, very grateful. Thank you for your time with us. Laurence, you want to say something before we move to Divya?
I have a lot to add. Just we talked about manifestation last week, visualization, manifestation, and as I have been working with Patrick for a few years, and we really try to boost the community and the spread of meditation and mindfulness in IBM. I know that he has been a live example of manifestation. The last summit that they did had a lot of external speakers thousands of attendees, and even went to get to the president of IBM Corporation to talk about mindfulness in the open and kick off this annual summit. And I just want to tell everyone who is from the corporate or enterprise or any type of institution, universities, that yes, manifestation can happen. It is happening through meditation. And you can introduce meditation into any type of organization, seeding and growing. And I think Patrick has been a great teacher to me from that standpoint. So thanks again.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lawrence. I know both of you actually partnered so much in spreading this. Wonderful. Veena, can we invite Divya, please? And friends, we perhaps are running late by about 8 minutes, but you must listen to this. Yes, Sheetal.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to introduce Divya Nadimpalli. Divya is a licensed physical therapist in the state of Texas. She also has associated degree in yoga, neuropathy, and acupuncture, and also pursued MBA in healthcare management. Divya started her meditation journey when she was 16 years old and helped herself to come out of sadness and depression. Since then, teaching meditation has become her passion, and she organizes many online group and in-person meditation sessions. She lives in Irvine, and she is a mom of 2 young boys. Despite of her busy schedule, she finds time to herself to meditate every day. Divya loves to hike. She has done one of the world's toughest trek to Mount Everest base camp in the Nepal in 2018. She, along with her friends, started mindfulness themed Toastmaster Club, Mindful Masters, in order to help spiritual aspirants across the world. She started a YouTube channel titled Meditation Magic, which is a new spiritual scientific channel dedicated to share authentic spiritual experiences and spiritual wisdom from masters across the globe. Let us all welcome Divya today.
Yes, Divya?
Yeah, thank you, Sheetal. Thank you, Chandra sir. And Lawrence, it's very good to see you here. And hi, Patrick. Wonderful story. It's very inspiring for all of us. And today I'm here to share my spiritual journey with you all and how I got into meditation and how I have applied all the spiritual concepts I have learned into my life. And my spiritual journey started in the year 2002 when I was a teenager. And I moved away from my parents for better education opportunities. And after I moved to a boarding school, the atmosphere in the school and the atmosphere at my home are very different. There was so much of expectation and stress. I had to take many classes in a day, and we had long study hours and very little break time. And this schedule has made me life so stressful, and I was unable to sleep at night and had very low self-esteem. And this state continued for a little longer time and have developed many fears and phobias, especially the fear of examination. I used to give so many reasons not to take the examination. I used to pretend that I was sick all the time so that I can be excused for not giving the exam. So that was my state of mind. And this continued for a few more days. And I was eventually into deep depression. And friends, that was the time I was introduced to meditation by my mom, Padma. And I thought, okay, let me give it a try. So I used to meditate about 15, 20 minutes, as I suggested that I have to meditate at least as per my age. So I used to meditate before my study hours and before I go to bed. This schedule has really helped me a lot. And slowly, I was able to gather the strength and courage to face the examinations. And I was able to sleep at night. And I was the self-esteem has improved a lot with meditation. And by the end of the second year, I had a huge leap in my grades. So my grades improved by 12%, which really surprised my parents and as well as my teachers. And that was a turning point in my life. And since then, life has become more meaningful and purposeful, and learning has become so fun from that day. As I moved on in my life, the next 3 to 4 years, I have invested so much of time in reading many spiritual books suggested by PSSM masters, and I also attended many events organized by PSSM, Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement, and also interacted with many senior masters and got all my questions answered, and also participated in many groups, discussion book clubs, experience sharing groups. And all these have impacted so much in my life. I have gathered all the information and the wisdom I needed for the future life. Later on in 2009, I got married, and our marriage was a typical arranged marriage, like Indian wedding, and everything went so well. But I moved to USA along with my husband after a few months, and after coming here, the life has become so stuck. I don't know what to do, where to go, and we used to have fights every day. We never used to agree in a single point, and it felt like a roller coaster ride every day. And I thought, okay, what is happening to my life? How can I make it better? And again, I reconnected with our senior masters, and with their guidance, I got introduced to a concept called soul science. So the soul science says that we as a soul choose all the people in our life partners, our family, our parents, our kids, and even the neighbors and friends we have in life. So with that understanding, I thought, yes, if I have chosen this person as my life partner and it's meant to be my life, I have to accept him as he is. With this understanding, I have started working on myself to do more and more meditation. And every night before I go to sleep, I used to question myself, what is it trying to teach me in this point of life? How can I be better the next day? So I used to get the answers in my meditation. Whatever the solutions I get, I used to implement the following day. So this routine really made me a better person. I saw so many changes in myself, and reciprocally, I saw so many changes in my husband as well. So slowly, the bond between us got stronger and better, and we became good friends. Now we are proud parents of two young boys, 6-year-old son Rishi and 1-year-old son Agastya. And since then, we have been completed with each other very well with every walk of our life. And as I moved on into my life, the next struggle I had was to get into my career. I'm a physical therapist by profession. So in order to work in the USA, I need to have a license. To pursue a license, I need to give an examination. The exam is called National Physical Therapy Examination, which is one of the toughest exam. It's about a 5 hours long exam. And there are so many misconceptions about this exam in the Indian background students. They say Indian students can't clear this exam. They have to do multiple attempts to clear it. But I said to myself, it may be true for others. I want to go one step beyond this. I want to uh, break all the myths around this exam. So I started working on my fears and all the negative thoughts I had about the exam. I should constantly replace the negative thoughts with the positive thought. And I used to write affirmations, positive affirmations every night I go to sleep. So that really helped me to retrain my subconscious mind and prepared me for the exam. So I really worked hard for this exam coupled with the thought power, intentions, and the pyramid power. I was able to clear the exam the first attempt. So that was the miracle. I still studied today, and I really understood how to reprogram our subconscious mind and how to work with our negative thoughts with the help of this exam. And the next stage, the next phase of my life was to finding a dream job. I had all the education qualifications, but I was unable to get into the job. So when I concentrated on this thing, what it is I'm going to have to learn from this situation, I came up with a concept called law of giving. So I set intention to myself. If I find this job, I will dedicate 10% of my salary for spiritual service. Within 5 days of setting this intention, I got a call from the office or from my manager, and I was into a job location. So that was the power of law of giving. And I was working full time, and I was pursuing my MBA degree. And the next phase of my life was to becoming a mom. Uh, I had, like all the women in the world, I had so many fears and anxieties about a pregnancy and childbirth and the changes that's going to happen to me after that. But despite of all these fears, one day in meditation, started inviting a soul to be my child for this life. So as I did more and more of this manifestation meditation, within a few months, I came to know I'm going to be a mom soon. And from the early days of my pregnancy, I used to wake up early. I used to practice meditation and yoga and affirmations. I used to communicate everything that's happening around me to my baby. And one experience I had during pregnancy was I was in 9th month pregnancy, and we were discussing about the potential baby names. Rishi was one of the names we were discussing. Myself, my husband, and my mom. And after lunchtime, I was relaxing in a reclining sofa. I put my finger on my belly and said, "Oh, Rishi is your name." I have seen a huge wave from the belly, confirm that yes, it is my name. You can call me Rishi. So that confirmed his name, and I went into delivery after a few weeks. Everything went so smoothly. I was in no mind state, and the doctors and the nurses who were helping me deliver the baby felt like angels welcoming Rishi into this world. So we named him Rishi finally. So I was able to communicate the baby uh, only to the help of meditation. So I used to have headaches, migraine headaches when I was a kid, and it came along with me as I become adult. I don't know when the migraine headaches vanish. So someone asked me one day, "Oh, how are your migraines?" I said, "I don't know. Where haven't had it from last 8 to 9 years now." So naturally, the headaches were vanished. And one other experience I had recently was how been to a trip called Everest Base Camp trek. It was one of the toughest trek in the world, and there were so many misconceptions around this trek as well. People said, "Oh no, with your physique and with your stamina, I don't think it's impossible, and it may be impossible to come back to your own place. Some people even die there." I thought, no, okay, somehow I felt I have to do this trek. I thought, how can I judge myself without even attempting it? That I thought I made all the arrangements for the trip, and the concepts that helped me during the trek were the Toltec 4 agreements. The agreements are being impeccable with your speech, don't assume anything, don't take anything personally, and always give your best. One example during the trek was the second day of the trek was supposed to be a very easy one, but I really struggled to finish the second day. We are in the altitude of about 3,000 meters above the sea level. The altitude took a toll on me. I really struggled to do the trek that day. And all the people around me and the guides started judging me. "Oh, if you can't do this day, that surely you will not be able to reach the base camp, the toppest part of the trek." I heard all the things and I told myself, that may be true, but I'm not taking their words personally. I'm going to give my best. I'm going to try whatever it is, I'm going to give my best until the last day. So I continued the trek. I was able to go to the base camp and come back safely. And all the concepts, all the things I have learned in my life have really helped me and made my life much more easier. And since I have benefited so much from meditation through all my life, I thought I have to give this to the people around me. So with this intention, I started a new meditation center called Cosmic Eye Meditation Center at my own place. And from this center, I've been actively teaching meditation from people around me. We have about 200 to 300 people actively meditating in Dallas now. And I also wanted to contribute something for online for the future and people around the world as well. So I came up with an initiative called a new YouTube channel, Meditation Magic. So with this channel, I'm trying to gather experiences from all the masters across the world and trying to translate the experiences into world languages like French, Spanish, German, Chinese, Italian, all the languages. That's a goal. And one more recent initiative I have taken was starting a new Toastmasters club called Mindful Masters Toastmasters Club. We have combined mindfulness with Toastmasters program. So this way we want to create better masters who can teach mindfulness to the world. And lastly, and I have taken initiative to reach the corporates to teach meditation. And one such organization I'm working right now is American Airlines. So since April this year, I have been actually teaching meditation to the corporate employees. And these are all my experiences in a nutshell. Friends, meditation can really help you make your life much easier, and it brings out the true potential that you have that is hidden inside you. Thank you. Thank you, Chandra sir. Thanks everyone for the opportunity to share my experience today.
Wonderful, Divya.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Just being a mom is one part of it. If you just looked at where she traveled around, she's cleared one of the toughest exams, and being able to manifest a job that she loves to do, adventure, and top of it, more importantly, she's running a center, meditation center at home. She's running a YouTube channel. She just started a Toastmaster club, and then this YouTube channel is actually putting videos in other languages. To think about putting a meditation video in Chinese language, this language, that language. There's no limit to what we can do. Dear friends, where there is a will, there is a way. We can easily pass and say, people don't around me, don't listen. Here, people are very busy. They're all in their own world. Nobody wants to know about meditation or mindfulness. That's a dialogue here. And I can tell you, Divya sitting in Dallas, perhaps, it's not US West Coast or East Coast, where there is a lot of population and then there is a lot of receptibility for these. But doing this work, you can do it anywhere. And but she was not deterred by just doing it only for the people in Dallas. She has found a way to actually reach out to people in China. There are many, many ways. Where there is a will, there's a way. I love her experience. When we can talk to children, infants. I think Patrick alluded a little bit. I don't know if his parents were talking to him, but when the infants are coming up, and then that is the time you can actually talk to the babies. There is a spiritual parenthood, there is a beautiful concept. Then introducing and then talking to the babies and then doing meditation during that time along with the baby actually has a great way of opening to the children as they come in. So any amount of experience from this young master, and it's privilege to hear from her and the privilege to hear from Patrick. And then if they all can do it, and there's no reason why we can't be a cause for change. And if they can live a enormously unlimited life, I mean, that's what I call Divya, and then Patrick doing the PTech work and then IBM work and then now doing an outside work in a way that they love it, and we can absolutely be that unlimited being. So thank you, Divya. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Patrick. Always wonderful to listen to these experiences. And we are, of course, growing our consciousness by just listening to somebody. Any comments from you, Lawrence?
I'm still under the power of Divya words, and I can tell you she's relentless. She asks for help, which is also a very strong trait of the meditators. We help each other. I had the chance to work a little bit writing for a magazine, but also translating in French some videos. And yes, Divya, I can do some others as you need. She's very driven by her purpose. And I can tell you the level of energy is quite amazing. I don't know how she's doing everything she's doing, but she's a perfect example. So thank you so much. I think you inspired also, like Patrick, a lot of people here, that nothing is impossible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Chandra.
Dear friends, thank you much for listening to these young masters. And then we meet back again tomorrow. We are in the week of emotional intelligence. We're learning to build our relationships and then make great friendships. And this week is about that. So tomorrow we have Lawrence talking about what is this demystifying emotional intelligence and how meditation is helping us build it a lot and lot and lot. So come back, and until then, have a great day. Thank you so much. And thank you, Patrick and Divya, once again. We'll be here for some more time, as always, after a couple of minutes break to either sharing or experience questions. Satya, I read your experience that you put in the chat. Beautiful. So maybe if you want to share it after this, feel free. So we'll be there. Thank you all. Have a great day.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world.
Okay. Anybody has any questions to? I think I see Patrick also there still. Yes. Any questions to Divya or Patrick? Or anything you want to express? Feel free to raise your hand before we listen in from Satya's meditation experience.
I would like to share, sir.
Yes, please go.
Yeah. So thank you, Patrick and Divya, for sharing wonderful experience. And I worked with Patrick when I was in IBM. I was also one of the mindful leader for Atlanta chapter. I saw him working so beautifully. His intentions are always like, how we connect people, how we give this mindfulness to the community, right? So I'm so fortunate to work with him. I learned so many things in his guidance. Thank you so much, Patrick. Yeah, it's so good to see you today. And Divya lived in Atlanta. We worked together for Pyramid Spiritual Society's movements. When I met Divya, she's newly married, and her total focus was like, how to create classes and how to give this meditation to everyone. She would go place to place, and she would organize classes and share her wisdom, and created many pyramid making workshops for children, for adults. It was really great working with her, creating classes and organizing sessions for masters. Thank you so much, Divya and Patrick, for today's wonderful sharing.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Sheetal.
Okay. Quiet group today. Nobody wants to even say something. Come on, guys. Okay. Can you unmute Satya, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah. Can you see me and can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Patrick and Divya, for your wonderful experience. It's a great and amazing experience. It's very motivational and inspiring. It's wonderful. And I just wanted to quickly share my today's experience while doing that meditation. Obviously, for emptying the mind, that's the visual I come across with. Initially, I see water and a small shivling floating in the water. That's the first visual just come across with, and right after that, a snake coming over that shivling. That's what just came to my mind, and like these are all for a couple of seconds, and later, huge form of Shiva appeared behind that shivlinga, and he was in full meditative state, and I was able to see that visual for a few seconds. And at that moment, I was experiencing a lot of energy and feeling a lot of like the energy flowing into my body. That's what I've experienced for a few seconds, and it was there for a while. And again, went back to the breath, observing the breath, and after a while, again, I got some thoughts in my mind too. But that's a wonderful experience I've just come across today. So I just wanted to share that. I thought I should share that.
Wonderful, Satya ji. This is great. Some of these are transcendental experiences. I wanted him to share because a lot of times we hold back, saying that it may be an illusion, it may be something my thought projection, right? Think about it. We don't think of something like that in your meditation of least of the time, because all you're doing is observing the breath. That energy that we experience when we go through these transcendental experiences, sometimes people go through a deep emotion, deep feeling. If you are symbolizing love and compassion, you might see Jesus Christ. If you are symbolizing lots of energy, are becoming a mystic of this universal intelligence, it could be Lord Shiva. Everything that is there is an energy form. Everything is an energy form. If we understand the concept of quantum physics, saying that everything is energy, becomes matter with our observation, and it goes back again, right? So where do we go? Where is this mind? Is outside the body. We understand this mind is outside the body, right? Which is that awareness. And it goes back as an energy, and then it is there. So all events are there physically, then go back and then become energy. So whatever name we give, but everything exists. Everything exists out there. So when we experience it, so this is an energy experience of an energy in that form, so that it sort of makes us feel larger than ourselves. That's all. For those who are Hindu religion, understand that Lord Shiva represents the epitome of energy. Shrishti, Sthiti, Laya. Shrishti is the creation. Sthiti is sustaining, and the Laya is becoming one with it, merging. So Laya is represented by Lord Shiva. So it is that energy. That means you're one with this whole thing. So mystical experiences do come, and the mystical experiences are there to experience something larger than our body, so as to understand that we always operate from that position. We are not this mere limited being. Meditation is to move from a limited to unlimited. And then some of these mystical experiences do make us feel that way. It makes us connect into that oneness. And then when we come back to the wakeful state, it becomes that deeper feeling, makes it easy for us to sort of drop the difference. The only thing I'll tell you, friends, is to drop. our judgments, our complaints about the other person, other thing. And the more we can drop and become one, the more we manifest. The more we can drop and become one, that's all to it. Then the more we can multiply our experience of life, and then we manifest. And these transcendental experiences help us to be that way. They help us. And I had my share of experiences whenever there's a time when we talk about it. But it's always good. It's not illusion, it's not hallucination. So don't drop it. Don't try to hush it, right? Feel it, experience it, enjoy it. That's all we do. Symbolically, they may mean something, but you will figure out for yourself what it means. Why did that appear? Why not something else? Over a period, you will have your own understanding. This is called understanding your own experiences so that you can make greater good out of it. Thank you all.
We have Sridevi.
Yes.
I just want to share my thoughts today. Thank you so much. Every day has been a great learning. And today it's great to hear Patrick and Divya. I think last October, like I got the opportunities to start working with Divya in translation and working with Meditation Magic and the Toastmasters. So I would like to thank Divya for giving me that opportunity. And listening to Patrick is just amazing, like starting meditation at a younger age, how it has a beautiful impact on your life and the impact that you're creating globally. Thank you so much, both of you, Patrick and Divya. And yesterday I got the opportunity for the book club too with Sheetal. It's just amazing. So much of learning every day, morning meditation and these book clubs, um, learning from each and every one in this group. Thank you.
Wonderful. You are a super mom/superwoman by yourself, Sridevi. So that's great to have that you partnered with your own journey of doing multiple things. Yes, lots of feminine energy flowing here. Laura should be happy.
Always. I would say feminine power, girl power.
Yes.
We need balance. That's a good balance. I think somebody else was raising hands, but I'm not sure anymore. I had seen another hand.
Okay. If you don't have more, so thank you, friends. It's wonderful to be spending this time with you. So we'll meet you back again tomorrow at the same time. Have a great
Yes.
day.
One more word, Patrick. You have a great set of people also that you can start thinking about partnering with going forward. I mean, as we spread meditation and mindfulness. So I think if you are here, that's not by chance. It was supposed to happen. So thanks again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear spirit
Bye, everybody. Thank you all.